Yesterday I found something new at Action. It's thickening medium. Now I've been wanting to try this for a while and I saw one of my favorite artists do a really nice painting. It's from Me Painting and it's this center one. So I thought this thickening medium would be perfect to get that 3D look. So let's try it. Hi everyone, my name is Randy and I like to do arts and crafts. First we're going to need a base and I'm going to be using this 30 by 30 centimeter canvas. And of course, I'm not going to leave it white. So the color I'll be using is not black, but I think I want to go for a Parisian blue phthalo. It's a really dark blue, but it is one of my favorite colors. And I hope I have enough, but I'm going to just cover the whole canvas and let that dry. So I'm going to do that first. So while that's drying, I'm going to make my paste. I was going to use this one, but I found a little bit of 24 karat gold left over in this bottle. So I think I want to try and mix it with this first. And I've got one of those squeezy bottles I'm going to put it in. It's a bit big, but the smaller one I have, it's really hard to squeeze. And the tip is also, I think, too narrow. I think this one would be perfect because I want a nice thick line. But first we need to see how this actually mixes. So first I'm going to just squeeze some in here. It's so white. But as you can see, it is really keeping its shape. I'm not sure how much is in here. Oh, don't want to waste anything. Let's just pour some in. I should have actually tested this beforehand to see if it dries clear, because what I'm seeing right now, it's really muting my gold. I was hoping that I don't need to paint my lines afterwards. Let's just pour in a little bit more. It's really almost gone, so let's just use it. It does really like to hold its shape. So I'll just keep on mixing and I'll add it to the bottle. It's really thick. As you can see, it's barely moving. That is what we want, but, well, I'm not happy with the color. So let's keep on going and hopefully we can fill this up a little bit more. So I moved my camera, so hopefully you can see. And I've been shaking this bottle for a little bit and I want to try it on a piece of paper first, just to see what comes out. So as you can see, it really is holding its shape. So if it actually dries like this, I'm going to be really happy. I'm really nervous about this because I only have one go at this. Once it's on there, it's on there. And my paint isn't fully dry. I did that on purpose. So hopefully this will stick better to the canvas. I'm just going to start in the center, I think. Okay, it's going. Oh boy, it's not really going how I want it. Oh, it's getting all squiggly. Okay. Oh, I think I've overdone it. One more line. Okay. It's looking okay, but it's not perfect. But I'm scared to touch it up. Let's try a palette knife. It really is really thick. I'm so sad about these squiggles here. And I think I want one more line to go around. And I also want to close this little part. I'm just turning it upside down and shaking it because I really want to go around one more time. I think I'm going to start here. Okay, and one more petal. Oh no, I made another squiggle. Maybe it's gonna look alright, we don't know. Just gonna try and connect this. Well, it actually worked quite nicely. So this is the shape I got. And as I said, I don't like these squiggles, but it is what it is. If I'm gonna try it again, I have a lot of the paste left over, so I might try that again. Well, I think it looks kind of like a rose. I think I made it too big. Oh my god, I don't know. I wish you could tell me. Hopefully it's not going to flatten down too much, because I really do like how it's going over. So, well, I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow. So the piece is about 95% dry and I'm really happy how it turned out. Even the squiggles came out perfect. And I hope you can see, but it's really nicely textured. You can even still see where the lines went over each other, like here. And the color is really nice. If you compare it to how it looked when it was wet, it was really dull, but the gold really stands out right now. So I'm really happy. The next thing I want to do is add some gold leaf. So I will have to add some of the foil glue first. And this one is really thick. I really have to squeeze hard. Always put your cap back on right away. And now I'm just going to add 2 drops of water. If you're adding water to anything you want to thin out, always start with a little bit. Somehow if you put a lot, it's really hard to mix it in. But as you can see, because now I've just added a little bit, mix this in really quickly. And then you just add a little bit more. We don't want it too runny. So which part do we want to get the gold leaf on? I kind of want to do this, but it's pretty big. So maybe I'll do this part, and maybe this big one. So let's just add the glue there. And I don't want to overdo it with the gold because it's going to just be too much. I'm going to try and be really careful to not get it onto the raised edges. And then it needs to dry and it will turn clear. So once it's all dry, I'll show you how I put the gold leaf on. So as you can see, the areas where I put the glue are now clear. So they should be ready to use. And I ended up putting a layer of this clear plastic over top. I actually found this at the school supplies. It's to put over your books. It does peel off really easy. And I just cut out these areas with my sharp pointy thing. So now it's time to add the gold leaf, and hopefully it will just go in these areas and not all over the place. I also already prepared some strips, and I want to try and do a trick I saw somebody else do. I think they use a brush and make it static on their skin, and it should pick up the gold leaf without it just exploding everywhere. Let's just start with this little area. So I'm just going to take a thin strip. So let's see if we can get it to work without going absolutely everywhere. Let's see. Okay, so my brush isn't staticky enough. Maybe a foam brush will work. I think it should be animal hair. Oh, look, it worked. It worked. It's having trouble getting it off the paper. Please, come off in one piece. Look, it's on there. Let's just try and add it. At least it's not flying everywhere, so that's a really nice trick. So let's try and put some here. I'm always scared to breathe when I'm using this stuff. It really sticks to the brush. This is a game changer. Oh, no hairs. Still not perfect, but it's way easier than it used to be. Let's try and make this look pretty. So I'm just going to try and put this little one here. And the reason I put the foil on is because I don't want all the gold foil to go all over. It's really hard to clean off your canvas, but it's just so pretty. And I'm using a quite stiff brush. So before I go to the next area, I'm going to do another little trick. I have these clothes rollers. There you go. Everything's clean. Nothing's on the canvas. I'm loving this. So I'm just gonna do the other parts. So I'm just rubbing it over my arm. It still does fold in on itself a little bit, but it's so much better. I'm just going to finish these parts, and then we will remove the protective plastic and we can paint the other areas. Look at how clean this is. I had almost no waste. That never happens with this gold foil. I always waste a ton of it. So this technique, I'm really loving it. So I saved the sheet the plastic came on because I don't want to waste this. I think I can reuse a part of it. So I'm just going to take it off, and it should not damage my painting. There you go. Put this sheet back on. I'll do a better job off camera, but here you go. No waste. And look at how perfect that came out. I've got like a couple little specks, but nothing major. You need to try this technique. This is absolutely perfect. So the next step is adding some paint. I'm going to be using the Parisian Blue Phthalo again, and I'm going to be mixing it, I think, with some titanium white and some oxide black, all by Amsterdam. So let me get my paint supplies and we can finish off this piece. I want to paint these areas first. So let's mix up some paint. Got some white, so let's add a little bit of water as well. I want some blue. I want to desaturate it a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of black. This should mute the color a little bit, and I think I want to make it a little bit thinner, maybe even a little bit more gray. Because I'm using the background color as a base for the blue, it's always going to look cohesive because it's in the same family. So I think I like that color, so I'm just going for it. I really like that color. So let me finish the rest of this color and then I'll get back to you to add some shadow. Just wanted to give you a little tip. If you want to go close to a line and not over it, use the end of your brush instead of the side, because when you put your brush down, the hairs cannot get any longer. But if you push it like this, it will go wider. So to go up to an edge, you just use the edge of your brush and it will never go over. So the piece is all dry and I just kept on mixing the three colors I've had. So the blue, the white and the black to create all these different colors. And now I just want to add some shadows. I've got some of the blue and the black on my palette. I'm just going to add a little bit of water. And the reason I'm using the blue is because if you use the full-on black, it's going to just really be harsh. I'm going to test it on a piece of paper. Let's see how dark it is. So I think that's dark enough. I think I want to add some shadows here first. And I was thinking on just on the outside. It's really hard because I want to show you, but my camera is up here and it's all a really tight fit. Let me say that. So it's probably going to take me a while. So I'm just going to carefully, I don't want to go over my gold. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my wash just up against the gold. Then I'm just taking my brush and removing the paint. And then I just want to blend it to the inside. It's probably gonna look like nothing is happening, but I really want to go slow. I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to build it up, just slowly adding layer by layer. And if I think it's too much, I can always use a little bit of water and just blend it out with that or dab it. But as you can see, I'm getting a nice little bit of shadow. So let me do this part. So as you can see, it just gives that little bit of extra. I'm just going to be doing that for the rest of the piece. So I've been working on the shadows and I think I'm going to add some shadows to the gold as well. And I'm not sure if this is going to be a mistake, but I think they are a little bit harsh. So I'm just gonna try it and otherwise we'll just have to wash it off. And I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to Veronica Me, who inspired this piece. Her channel is Me Paintings, so please go and find her on Instagram and YouTube. She's an amazing artist. She's inspired me so many times and I just want to thank her for that. I'll link her details in the description as well. I think I might have to go for a black. Let's see how that looks on the gold. Color-wise, I do think it looks better, but for the design, I'm not really sure. So I think I'm going to leave it shiny. And here it is, the final result. Look at how amazing it turned out. I really didn't expect texture paste to work this well. But that is why I like to experiment with new products. You never know when you're going to find a new gem. And during this one, we actually finally found a good use for those foam brushes. Who would have thought you could actually pick up gold leaf with them? I would love to know what you think about this piece, and if you're going to try it yourself. You can leave a comment down below or send me a DM on Instagram. But for now, I want to thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye everyone!